Yeah, I thought it was a good win against a good solid pro. I mean, I think if I would have listened to Steve more in the corner and kept it long and went led off first and pushed him back and got him my boxing more, I'd have got him out of there. But yeah, comfortable win against a tough world level.
Was he as tough as you thought he was?
Yeah, he was tough. He hit me some big shots and my hands are killing. Felt his head. I've seen a few of them registered and they recovered quick, so yeah, he was a tough fighter.
Do you think you'll now get the recognition you deserve at 33 now?
I hope so. I mean, I can only prove that against the best, and I want to fight the best next. So Frank's promised me them big fights next, either Linares, Lomachenko, someone like that, Garcia. They're the fights I want, and hopefully Frank can make them happen.
What are you going to do about his next fight?
Well, we're going to see what Linares is doing. I don't know whether he's going to fight Garcia next. He's obviously in the States. That's a big fight, and that'd be a hard thing for us to compete against to get him here. If he's not fighting him, and we've already made him an offer, he agreed to come here to fight Terry before the rematch with Crolla, but because they exercised the option, we couldn't get it on. But Terry's, he's in that company now. They're going to have to fight him because there's going to have to be unification fights, and we will make sure it happens. And Lomachenko's fighting tonight. That's the name that Terry mentioned. I mean, for me, I think Lomachenko is a great fighter. I think Terry's a great fighter. And I think the one thing about Terry is that if he's fighting, the better the fighter he fights, the better you get, more you get out of him. And I think that's really where we've got to be with him. We've got to find these fights that get more out of him. And he won this fight tonight. He was never in any danger or anything. He's been well in control of the fight. And he fought a guy who everybody considered to be, outside of being the world champion, the next best guy in his division. And he handled it. And I thought he won it by a good 10 rounds in the scoring. I mean, that's how I scored it. I thought he was winning the rounds and very comfortable. And I think he could have even stepped it up a bit more, and he may even got close to stopping him.
Is there a danger? Excuse me. Sorry, but you finished.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there a danger in, say, a Lomachenko fight? And we know how skilled he is. It's a very dangerous fight for you. Could that alter, a unification fight down the road, or is it worth waiting for that?
Well, he's coming up again. He'll have to come up again in weight, won't he?
No, but what I'm saying is, obviously Terry believes he's going to beat Lomachenko, but
yeah.
A lot of people have Lomachenko possibly as a favourite in that.
Well, listen, they would have him as favourite. I'm quite sure they would. But he's coming up, and he's not 33-0 for nothing. And if that's the fight, then you're going to have to get the best out of Terry. And there's going to be some interesting questions for Lomachenko. What is he going to be like coming up in weight?
Are you confident you beat him, Terry?
I'm confident of beating anyone at 135 pounds. So yeah, I'm big, I'm strong. He's coming up. I think, if anyone's going to beat him, it's me. I'll box off with him. I think I've got the style to beat him, of course. So I just won't be asking for them fights.
Is that physically the toughest night you've been through in the ring tonight?
I've been through tough. I don't think it was that hard. I was never in trouble. He's not
marked up, is he?
I was always comfy in the fight, always in control. I mean, I felt his power. Nothing bothered me. Yeah, I was always in control, but yeah, it was easy work.
Seen Linares fight Crolla twice. How would Flanagan Linares fight?
I think the Crolla fight, it was Crolla's made for him. I mean, he don't punch in. He don't go throw more than 3 punches. I'll go again on Linares, and I think personally, I think I stop Linares. I think he's fragile at the weight. I think he's vulnerable. I mean, he's a good fighter. He's classy. He looked good against Crolla, but styles make fights, and I think I've got the style to beat him.
He did look really good against Crolla.
He did, yeah, but
you always knew he was going to.
You always knew because he'd already been over there, beat him not at his best, and he knew an extra 5-10%, and he's when the fight comes forward.
Couldn't beat on that night. A guy was coming off a bad injury, back in the ring, and you knew he had a couple more gears, and he showed it in the fight.
Frank, have you spoken to Oscar De La Hoya and Diaz I mean Diaz, then Robert Garcia or Diaz.
We had a deal. We had a deal done. We had a deal done.
Yes, but have you spoken since?
No, because I want to get Terry fight out of the way tonight. And I'll probably give him a shout later, or certainly tomorrow or Monday.
Is that kind of a late summer fight or something like that you would like to do?
Well, we'd like you want to be out again in July, don't you? So that's what we'd like to do. Yeah.
Is it still difficult finding opponents for Terry? People who want to take.
Yeah, I mean, the fight I would have loved for him was Anthony Crolla, because I think you'd have seen what you see last week, but it'd have been Terry doing it, and it's a great shame we couldn't get it on. And people talk about make the fight now. Anthony needs to go and get a couple of wins under his belt, and I don't know what he's doing anyway, what direction he's going in. But Terry needs the big names. He needs them. He's done extremely well. When you think of Magdalena, how he beat him. That was a fantastic performance. And apparently, believe it or not, the Twitter in America, it was 5th trending Twitter, his fight tonight in the States with the thing. So Art Palulo showed me. So hopefully they'll see that over there, and we'll get everybody on board and make the Linares fight.
Harry to say this because he won't, because he's too modest. Can you just put into perspective, that he's 27, unbeaten in 33 fights, 5 defences of the world title now. For me, he doesn't get enough plaudits. So I just want to put that in context. I
think the record itself speaks for itself. His record is like that. I think Terry's, you see him. He's the nicest guy you can meet and work with. He's a fantastic fella, and I've been a big fan of his for a long, long time, and I was pleased that he came with me. Boxing today, what are you going to do? He's going to ref him blind and say all that. I want to kill the opponent. I want to do this and that, and that gets publicity, as we all know. And guys, this seems to be more commonplace these days. That's not Terry. He does his talking in the ring. He's not flash. He's not a braggart. He is what he is. What you see is what you get. He's a man of the people, and I think people will respond to him. From my point of view, my perspective is that a Box Nation, we had an audience. It was a limited. When I say a limited audience, they're great. The subscription we got. We didn't have the Sky platform. We've got a BT platform now. We've got more. We've had more viewers. They've got. And I'll bang on about it. They got their telephone company, EE, the mobile phone company they've got. That's got 18 million subscribers, and we'll be working on that as well. So he's got a chance and an opportunity now to be, seen by a huge audience, and more importantly, I think they'll take to him. He's his own worst critic. You see him at the end of a round. He goes back to the corner sometimes, and I feel like I want to jump in the ring and, liven yourself up. You've done really well. What are you looking so down about? Come on and get out there and do it. But he's his own worst critic, and he done well tonight. And and getting back to the question you asked, I think his stock will rise now. And if we can get him in the right fight, if we get the Linares fight, which I know he fancies through his life, and he wins that fight, then that must make him our number one.
Frank, is it a Joe Calzaghe, Jeff Lacey situation?
Well, it could be that way, and Joe Calzaghe was a 12-year overnight sensation. That's what happened with him, and this guy can do the same thing. There's no doubt about that. It's funny. I mean, I remember having letters from ITV, from Sky, write at me saying they did not want Joe Calzaghe on the channel, and I had to fight tooth and nail to get him on there. I've not had that with Terry, but the thing is with Terry, he needs that defining fight now. He needs a fight where all you guys are going to go back to your sports center and say, look, this is something special that we're going to be watching here tonight, and our guy, if he comes through this, he's going to be the number one, and that's my job to deliver it.
Terry, do you think you're overcritical of yourself at times?
Yeah, I think I am. I think I have to understand myself really, that fighting people at world level, I'm not going to win every minute of every round. If I lose a minute of a round, I'm a bit pissed off with myself, and it shows. I need to snap out of that really, but yeah, I am. I do look at the negatives and try and think I go back and I watch that, and I look at what I've done wrong rather than what I've done right. But going back to Joe Calzaghe, he was my hero. I try and base my style on him. What did he have? How many defences of the WBO did he have?
He's
Yeah, 20 odd. That's what I mean, that's unreal.
longest reigning champion, or British as well, longest reigning ever champion.
Go for his record. Go for his record.
So he is someone you're modelling yourself on?
Yeah, of course. I
Also
mean,
the way you are
he is
as well.
my favourite. He's my all-time favourite British fighter. I mean, he's southpaw, busy, fast, skillful, and yeah, trying.
When you watch Terry, when he's moving his feet, when he's up on his toes and he's moving, and he's throwing his shots. I mean, it's like it's fantastic, and he does get fed up with himself. You can see that. But when he's doing that, he's on the top of his game. And I think when he gets the opponent who's really you're going to see that all the time. It's a bit like Joe. Remember the performance he had against David Starry? I mean, it was a dreadful fight. Even I went home, halfway through. There was a few of them, and then you go and look at Jeff Lacey. You go and look at Kessler. They were great fights, and they got the best out of him. He suddenly the lights switched on for Joe. Right now, I want to be fighting these guys.
He was very similar to Terry in that way, that you couldn't get him out of his hometown, he didn't want to come travel anywhere, he was very much in his show.
Well, no, I don't think Terry's not got a problem, I don't think, travelling or anything. It's just a matter now of us, delivering up. I mean, we're in a bit, what I want is to deliver the big fights here. We're British. We're British promoters. That's where we want it. We want Nicola to win a world title here. We want, occasionally you got to go on the road. You have to go on the road. It's fantastic for you guys because you get all your expenses and your trip and everything. But for us, it's all about, delivering to the fans here in prime time. All good? Thank you for all the help for the show.
Joe not leaving home.
Oh, I know.